continuing our playthrough for Micro Horror RPG. We have rolled up a new character and embarked on some new crawling. We have a character, Rowena. We don't have much of a background for her. She is an historian, an occult historian, an occult. She has a lot of occult knowledge and a lot of history too, we believe. She works at a university wherein she has become aware that many of her fellow faculty members and things are becoming students and are falling prey, victims to a vampire. And since she's fascinated with such creatures and wants to get closer to them, not necessarily to fight them off, but to get closer to them, she is going down into the catacombs beneath the university to find where this vampire may be. This is the entrance room, marked by E. We rolled a D. Where's it at? Let's see, we rolled this D20 to see how many squares were in the room, each square representing 10 feet. We rolled a D4, the pyramid-shaped dice for the entrances, and we rolled 4, including the one she came in. We rolled a D12. That's a D10. That's the D100. Anyway, we rolled a D. Darn it, come here. We rolled this D12. And we rolled a 1 and a 2. Neither one, we rolled twice, 1 and 2. We mulliganed, as they say in the text, and re-rolled because we didn't like the first. There we go. We didn't like the first result. And it didn't indicate there were any monsters, but when we rolled for investigation, and there's a table here. If you roll and there are no monsters, then there is an investigation table. Where is it at? Investigation encounters, right there. And that's a D12 roll. There's such things as a chilling wind blows. We heard a portent of doom. A portent of doom appears. But it didn't quite work out that way. It actually was just a wailing beyond the halls. Now, there are 3 exits here. 1 a cluttered exit and 2 open. We avoided falling into a pit trap, but now we have to decide which exit we're going to exit through. A cluttered exit would take a dexterity check, would have to roll against dexterity, and the dexterity here is 1, so we literally would have to roll on a D6, regular style dice, a D6. We literally would have to roll a 1. Where is it? There. We'd have to roll a 1 because you can't roll below a 1. So that's a bit trickier. So the pit, I'm going to go ahead and assume, is blocking one of the open entrances, or maybe both of them. It may perhaps stretch. We could ask the Fate Oracle, the Game Master emulator here, the Mythic Game Master emulator. If that is indeed the case, we could ask the Fate chart here. The chaos level so far is not high. It's about a 3 maybe, and say it's likely that the pit stretches around before both of the uncluttered exits. Let's say it's very likely, and that gives us a range between 10 and 50. We roll a D100. Where is that thing at? We roll our D100. Let's see, this is the tens. This is the tens dice, I believe. Maybe not. I don't see. There we go. There's the tens dice. And there is the there we go. Roll a D100 between 10 and 50 to see if that pit is blocking our historian, our occult historian. We don't have a miniature that really represents an occult historian, so we're making do with a fantasy one, just for the visual. So let's go ahead. And it looks as if we have 97. 97 is a no. It is a big no. So how do you interpret that? That's actually an extreme no. Because here, the 91 is the upper range, and anything over that is an extreme no. So the pit is not blocking both exits. Just not sure which one is being blocked. But let's go ahead and ask the simple yes/no oracle. 1, 3, even numbers. 1, 3, and 6 are no. 2 and 5 are yes. So is the north exit open? There's no obstruction in the north exit, no pit in front of it. So they're by process of elimination. We don't really need to roll again. So we're going to have our character here, Rowena, is going to proceed from the entrance point into this open area beyond. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and roll, and it looks like there are 16 squares in this next room. So let's go ahead and mark out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15. We need to go up an extra. There we go. So we have a room that's comparable in size to the one in which we entered. Let's go ahead and pass her through. We'll go ahead and roll to see how many exits there are in the room. Looks as if there are 3 exits, including the one she came through. So we could just go ahead and extrapolate that there's one there and one on either side. What you can do in a situation like that is grab your D8 and roll, and that will give you the direction. Well, the direction of the first one is here, and the other one is somewhere over here. So there's an exit, because if this is north, northeast would be an exit, and we could almost, my feeling is that This is actually a hidden exit. But let's go ahead and ask the yes-no oracle if indeed that is the case. Yes, it is. Secret passageway. Secret passageway. We'll have to roll against wits to see if Rowena discovers that or not. Okay, now the most interesting, the most fascinating, the most incredible of all the rolls is the one that you do on a D12, and that is to see if there are monsters about. And we got a 2, so again, no monsters. No monsters, but the room needs to be investigated. The room needs to be investigated now. She needs to go around. She needs to look. She's going to examine things. This is the underground lair. This is the catacombs, the abandoned caverns and rooms beneath the university. So she's going to go ahead and the investigation chart says cellar room investigation encounters. We rolled a 3. Beneath her feet she can feel a vibration. Boomf, 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 boomf. A heart beating beneath the floor, like in The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. What you can do, I haven't been doing this so far, but of course you can journal this as you go. You can write it up, write the story of it as you go. Rowena is my first person character. And I'm trying to bump the camera quite as much as I've been doing, but Rowena is my first person character. Sorry about all these technical problems. So we're going to go ahead and write in our journal, Rowena enters. Make sure. There we go. Oh, that came out bad. Okay. Rowena enters second room. Feels heart. Beating beneath the floor. Okay. And what you can do also is you can use your graph paper as you go. And we've got one started here for another adventure that we will never get back to. You can use your graph paper as you go to the map. If you're using a dry erase affair like this, you can still map it out on graph paper as you go to make sure you don't lose track of things. Now, obviously, a character crawling through a dungeon like this is not making a map. However, it may be useful to you later to go back to keep, if you make a successful roll against wits or IQ to come back the way you came, just depending on how much of a simulation you want, how much of it is going to be exacting, or how much of it can be played in the theater of the mind. It could all be played in the theater of the mind, obviously, but then there's a point where you want perhaps some realism too. But we're having a really good time. This is the 4th installment of of using Micro Horror RPG, which is just a really great system, really great system. There's it's an interesting and playful comic book horror adventure, and I highly recommend it to anybody who wants to play it. This was just a little playthrough this morning. All right, thank you. You have a wonderful morning. Bye bye.